has been one of the greatest challenges for a lot of people. The desert is pretty hot. And when I mention the word desert, what comes to mind? Oops, not dessert with 2 S's, I meant desert with 1 S. In today's episode, we'll be going into the deserts of the world. Boom, baka, boom, 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 baka, boom. Dark, 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 darkshin, 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 darkshin. Alright, we are live! Hi guys and welcome to a new episode of Darkshot. Today we will be talking about deserts of the world. Now let's get started. Now what is a desert? Well, let me ask you this question one more time. When I mention the word desert, what comes to mind? Probably a piece of chocolate cake, you might say, or a piece of pie. Oops! Sorry, my bad. It's actually not all of this, but deserts with 1 S. And just a side note, today is Pie Day. I'm recording this on March 14th, 2021. Hope Bihar doesn't make another anti-pie video. Okay. So yeah. So this is the desert. And what is this desert about? This desert, well, it can be cold, as you might say, but there are also cold deserts, such as Antarctica. Well, at least I believe this is Antarctica. Probably, yeah. Antarctica is the most widely known and most popular place for a tourist distraction of a cold desert. Why is it Antarctica is a desert? We might say it is not a desert because it is not hot. But they do have some things in common. First of all, Antarctica doesn't get as much snow, as much snowflakes. It's just about 10 inches of snowflakes in a year. And also it's pretty dry. Even though it has some water on it in solid form, of course it is ice. And here are some things that we need to talk about this weird place. There are loads and loads of different animals in the deserts, but mainly we're just gonna focus on, first of all, these hot desert animals first. So there are loads and loads of desert animals, such as this armadillo, and there are some lizards. I believe this is a Gila monster, a scorpion, a rattlesnake. No, there is no rattle, so it's a snake, just a snake. This is a bird which can run fast. I kind of forgot its species name, though. Sorry about that. And here is the desert fox, and here are some. I don't even know what they are. They're too small. Okay, and there are loads and loads of other different types of animals too. Now let's get into the hot desert sotnuts. Alright, I'm just gonna be honest here. I don't know. We don't know all the real animals in the desert because there are always new and new species of animals getting discovered, like sometimes every day. Now back to the desert, okay? Back to the desert. Now let's say that this highlighted space right over here is the desert. There are some overlaps of the deserts. And these are all the deserts. The darker shades are the hotter places. And now let's say that there is a camel living in here. And here is the desert survivor's greatest challenge. Now we all know that we all need water, right? We all know that we all need water. And nothing can survive without water. Remember that. Nothing can survive without water. This teeny weeny spot here is the only space that doesn't need the water parts. Our body is made up of mostly out of water, and here is the desert's greatest challenge: to find water, where it doesn't seem to have much of it. That is the challenge of everyday people, and sometimes some animals compete. Animals compete to get all the food that they can to survive. Every day is a fight for the survival. And that is why all the animals are looking like this. There's even a very good saying about this, that the desert is Allah's garden. Allah means, let me try that again. Allah means God. So the God literally made a place just for himself so that he can walk along it peacefully on earth. And this is literally not the way he expected it to be. But then an angry turkey said, I do not like my hoarse voice," in his hoarse voice, and then waved a burning stick. Waved a burning stick into the air, scorching part of the God and the desert itself in the process. And nobody, except all the animals that were stuck in the desert, didn't even dare to come out of the desert. That's just a myth. And the creation of all these deserts are actually always told in myth. Now that's the hard part here. How did deserts come to be, and why are they so hot and cold? Well, those origin stories are actually told in myth. A lot of myth. And this story I just told you was just part of a myth. Okay. Enough of these notes, and now let's get into the cold deserts. Cold desert time! Okay, so now there are loads and loads of different types of deserts in this world. This is one of the cold deserts of the world. The cold deserts of the world are not always Antarctica. Not all of them are Antarctica. Some of them are in different parts of the world, such as, of course, one of the other examples, the Arctic. Pretty cold and white out there, and also some parts of Asia contain some cold deserts, even though they may not be hot. And now we're going on to the different types of deserts in the world. Alright, there are loads and loads of different deserts in the world. Now when I looked at this image, this was actually not that blurry, but when I just got it blurry, so I hope you don't mind that. Right. The United States people always visit Death Valley first, because, well, it is the closest desert they can go to. And then this area of land here is the Sahara Desert. And we can't go into all the deserts of the world, so we'll just go into some of the famous ones. And somewhere here, this part is called the Gobi Desert. It is in Mongolia. Part of it is in Mongolia. And to be honest here, I didn't memorize the names of all the deserts in the world, and just the basic ones such as Death Valley, okay? And the Gobi Desert, the Sahara Desert. And here are some, and then there are all the other types of deserts, the cold deserts, it didn't show here, but there is one in Antarctica. This Antarctic region, there is loads and loads of different types of deserts. And this is just one of the cold deserts. And then the Arctic Circle inside gets a cold desert too, such as the Arctic. Well, it is sort of like that, but however, it is kind of like that. Why I'm saying the Arctic is a desert is because that it is sort of dry, but there are some ways that disadvantages that the Arctic is not a desert. First of all, it gets lots and lots of snow. Now, when I first thought of that, snow is not rain, so it is a desert. But then I realized that snowflakes were made from rain, so that may be a little harder and confuse my mind. And that's enough deserts that we can go into today. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next episode. Junhan out. Peace! Subscribe to this channel. click the bell button and like this video. Please do all of that before I end this video. Bye bye.